Golden Radio Hour.
With action and suspense out of the Old West comes the most famous hero of them all, Hopalong Cassidy, starring William Boyd. The ring of the silver spurs heralds the most amazing man ever to ride the prairies of the early West. Hopalong Cassidy, the same Hoppy you cheer in motion pictures, and the same California you've laughed at a million times. Raw courage and quick shooting have built a legend around this famous hero. Hopalong is a name to be feared, respected, and admired, for this great cowboy rides the trails of adventure and excitement. William Boyd as Hopalong Cassidy, and Andy Clyde as California. Here's Hoppy now with another new story.
This one is titled The Man in the Yellow Mask. California and I were on our way to Brownsville to pick up a herd of coasters, little Gulf of Mexico cattle locally known as sea lions. At the time, I was carrying a sight draft for $7,000. We meant to get a pickup crew and trail the herd back to the Bar 20 for fattening. But then something happened that drove Brownsville, sea lions, and everything else right out of our minds. Shots, California.
Sounded to me like rifle shots, Hoppy. What you figure made them? Somebody out hunting?
That's right, California, out hunting men. Look at that horse, it's saddled. But what's happened to the rider?
Figure he got shot off in his saddle?
Could be, and I'm willing to wager he did. Come on, he must be down somewhere in that draw. Let's go, Topper.
Get up, boy, get up. There he is, Hoppy, I see him.
Right. Who, boy?
Whoa there, whoa.
Come on. Well, he was shot, all right. Dead, too.
Huh. Look there, Hoppy. Here comes somebody else. He couldn't be the feller that done it, or
I
could he?
doubt it. He's not carrying a rifle.
Maybe he get rid of it.
He could have. But in that case, I doubt it he'd ride up while we're here. Hi there.
Hi. Oh. Dead, is he?
Yeah? He was dead when we got here.
Yeah, I thought he'd be.
Look here, mister. If you're thinking we done this...
No, I know you didn't. I was up over there when the shots was fired, seen the feller did it. Oh, by the way, my name is Stokes. Jared Stokes, own the Circle S over yonder.
I'm pleased to meet you. This is California Carlson. I'm Bill Cassidy.
Oh, Hopalong Cassidy.
That's right.
Yeah, seen you when you rode through town. You know this fellow, do you?
Never saw him before.
Well, I did. I knew him well. He's Sam Wilkins. He's a neighbor of mine. Well, let me see here. Yeah, I thought so. It's gone.
What was you looking for, mister?
See if Sam still had his money on him. He just sold off some of his cattle, but I see it's gone. Well, this is one more we can check off against that hombre in the yellow mask.
The man in the yellow mask, he did this?
Sure, saw him riding away. You heard of him, have you?
Yeah, I've heard of him. Seems he's been making you fellas quite a bit of trouble up this way.
Trouble and killings. About time somebody put him away. That's a job you could do, Cassidy, if all I heard told's got any truth in it.
Why me?
Well, 'cause you've laid hombres like this and by the heels afore. I sure wish you'd stay and give it a try.
I wouldn't know where to begin. Couldn't trail him over this stuff. It's mostly malpie.
Well, now, what if I told you where to start looking for him?
That'd be fine. But that's just the difficulty. From what I've been told, no one has the slightest idea who he is or where he hides out.
Yeah. I can tell you both.
You can. How come?
Well, it's easy, mister. You see, he's my son.
Now, back to Hopalong Cassidy and our story, The Man in the Yellow Mask. Hoppy in California, hearing rifle shots, investigated and found the body of a local rancher, Sam Wilkins. They were presently joined by a second local rancher, Jared Stokes, who identified Wilkins' killer as the notorious outlaw known as the Man in the Yellow Mask. And now goes on to identify the Man in the Yellow Mask as his son.
That's right, Cassidy. He's my own boy, Terry. I reckon you can guess how rotten I feel having to tell anyone this, but it's so all right. He's my boy.
You mean the man in the yellow mask?
Yeah, I got to look at him once with that mask off. What he really wears, you know, is a hood. Covers all his head right down to shoulders, colored yaller.
We heard that.
Well, I really don't know what to say, Stokes. If we caught him, you know we'd have to turn him over to the law, don't you?
I'd expect that.
He'd hang, you know.
Hanging's what he's got coming to him. I raised him right. All I can figure is he's somehow gone kill a loco. Yeah, own boy or not, he ought to hang.
All right, we'll go after him. Our business can wait. But you'll have to tell us where to look for him.
I'll do that. See, what I have in mind is this. Ever since he was just a little button, he's had his own private hideout. Didn't even know I knew about it. And it's a good one. It's a cave he found once back up in the hills.
Oh, Topper.
Oh, boy.
This is where we get off and walk, California. We'll leave the horses here.
Think we're getting close to that cave, Hoppy?
Well, if Stokes' directions were right, it should be at the base of that butte. You can see up there ahead. Come on, California. Now, let's see how good you can make out on foot.
Me? I'll do all right.
Keep your head down. Hey, don't move ahead so fast.
The way you're walking ain't walking at all. It's just crawling. Why, the time I tracked down Geronimo...
California, don't be an idiot. Wait for me, you'll...
Wait for you up by that rock there. Ain't nobody can see me. What?
Hey, what?
Hoppy, there's a hole here. Help, I'm falling. Hoppy, no!
A deadfall. You all right? Can you hear me?
Help me out, Hoppy. I don't know whether I'm hurt or no. Maybe I broke a leg or something.
Oh, don't try to move. I'll have to go back and get my rope. All right. Take it easy. I'll be with you in a second, California.
There.
There. Now, let's see what happened to you. Can you stand up?
I don't know. I'm scared to try.
Well, where does it hurt?
I feel too doggone numb to tell.
Then what are you groaning for?
I ain't got nothing to do with that, Hoppy. It just come out of me.
We got to get out of here and get out as fast as we can. That yell you made was enough to wake up the dead. We're likely to have the whole county down on us. Here, I'll give you a hand. See if you can stand up.
Well, well, doggone if I can't.
That's good. Now, do you think you can climb that rope? I got it attached to a rock up above.
I get pretty well shook up, Hoppy.
Well, go ahead. Try anyhow. I'll come up behind you. I'll give you a hand if you need it, but hurry.
All right, Hoppy. Here goes.
Come on. There you go. You're making it all right. I'll follow you up. Come on, a little more.
Doggone it. Hard work.
You need some hard work.
All right. I'm getting it. Hoppy.
What's the matter?
I'm almost to the top, but I can't quite make it. My hands are slipping.
Try to hold on. I'll give you a boost. Come on. There you go.
Oh, there. That done it, Hoppy. Thanks. Now, wait a second now. I'll give you a hand. Here, grab a hold. You got it?
Yeah. All right. Pull away.
Up with you.
Oh, good. Thanks. See anybody?
No. And I've been looking all around.
Well, maybe he didn't hear you. Or maybe he isn't at the cave just now. In that case, it'll give us a chance to...
To do what?
What?
Nothing foolish. Careful. I have you both covered.
The man in the yellow mask.
I thought you looked all around.
Well, I did, Hoppy. He must have...
You just didn't look in the right place. All right, move ahead of me with your hands high, both of you. Looks as if you're going to be my guest for a bit.
This is the cave you've been using as a hideout, eh?
That's right. Room enough in there for you and a dozen more. So keep right on going.
Doggone, you even got it lighted in here.
I have a lantern over there. Okay, this is all right. Stop right where you are.
And what do you think you're going to do with us?
I haven't decided that yet. Kill you, probably. One thing, though. You can stand right where you are, and I'll relieve you of your guns. Yours too, old-timer. Yeah, that's better. When I fool with rattlers, I always like to make sure they don't carry any poison.
Keep on talking, Terry. You sound interesting.
You call me Terry. What'd you do that for?
You're Terry Stokes. You can't deny it, Terry. Your father identified you.
So he knows.
Of course he knows. That's how we found our way to this cave. But there's something else that interests me in your talk, Terry.
What's that?
You try to sound so tough, but you don't sound convincing. I'm beginning to wonder if you are the man in the yellow mask.
What?
When a man's a killer, it gets into everything he does. His voice, his manners, everything. You don't look or sound like a killer to me.
What are you doing? Get back.
And if I don't, what will you do?
I'll shoot. I'll shoot you.
No, you won't. Give me that gun.
Hands off me.
There. You can try to play the part of a killer unless you mean to go through with it, Terry. There's always someone just fool enough to call your bluff.
You...
Take off that hood. Let's have a look at you. I thought so. You're no killer, Terry. You're just a nice kid that got in over his head. Now, suppose you tell California and me what this is all about.
Well, I...
Go ahead, talk. No need to be afraid of us.
Go ahead, kid. You can trust Hopalong Cassidy.
You're Cassidy? You really are?
I usually am. Now, let's hear what you got to say.
Well, I planned all this hoping to get the real man in the yellow mask.
Oh?
He killed Buck Swanson, my best friend. I swore I'd get him.
Well, how was this get-up going to help you?
I figured if I posed as the man in the yellow mask and let myself be seen once in a while, the real one would hear about it and get to wondering. I figured after he'd wondered long enough, he'd come looking for me to see what was up. I had a trap set for him. I figured if he did come, I'd have a good chance of nabbing him.
That trap you had set up, was it that deadfall California stumbled into?
That's right. I put a lot of work into that deadfall, Cassidy. I don't think you'd have ever noticed it.
I sure didn't, and I get aches and pains to prove it.
Hey, you weren't interested in looking. All you were interested in was showing how fast you could walk in those high-heeled boots of yours. Well, it wasn't a bad plan, Terry. I'd have been proud of it myself.
So would I.
Huh?
What the...
There's the gent in the yellow mask.
Yeah, you're quite right. I might have fallen into your trap, Terry, but unfortunately this fool here sprung it before I had a chance. Very fortunate for me. Now, don't get any notions, Cassidy. I'd advise you just to relax. Let that gun drop.
Now what?
Well, I'm not just sure yet, Cassidy. But to quote our young friend here, I'll probably kill you.
Now, back to Hopalong Cassidy and our story, The Man in the Yellow Mask. Young Terry Stokes had conceived a clever plan for the capture of the man in the yellow mask. There was only one thing wrong with it. Terry hadn't realized that his trap might be prematurely sprung by California Carlson. And now, in the cave that he has been using as a hideout, Terry and California and Hoppy find themselves the outlaws' prisoners.
As I say, I haven't decided just what to do with you yet. But I'll probably kill you. That is,
Well?
I have certain sources of information, Cassidy. I happen to know, for instance, that you were heading for Brownsville to buy a herd of cattle and have a sight draft for $7,000 in your possession. Now, if you'll just put your signature to that draft...
Then you'd kill me and have it over with.
No, not at all. In that case, I might be persuaded to let you go.
Sorry, but I can't accommodate you, my friend. That money isn't mine, and I don't give away what doesn't belong to me.
I could take it from you, of course.
And it wouldn't be any good without my signature. Watch yourself, Terry. I'm going to give you a chance to get away.
What?
Here, that'll be enough of that, Cassidy. What'd you say to this fella?
Why, I was just asking the time, friend. I'm not sure I can stay much longer.
That's very funny. You may stay longer than you'd planned. Much longer.
Terry, run for it.
I'm on my way.
Right to the Circle S. Bring back help.
I'll do that.
Stop! Stop! Come back here!
You missed him. This is poor light for shooting, mister.
And you're a fool, Cassidy. How do you know I won't kill you for this?
Oh, I wasn't worrying about that. The way I figured, you'd like to keep us alive till I sign that sight draft.
Well, you'd better sign it soon. I haven't much patience, Cassidy.
Then you'd better cultivate it.
If you're thinking Terry will come back to help you,
Oh, he will. He will.
All right, let him. You won't be here. Come on. We're going to round up your horses, and then we're going places. Hold still while I tie you.
So, this is the place you call home.
Nice place for a hideout.
Yeah, I think so. Plenty of water from that stream over there. Good grass, plenty of fuel. No one ever comes here.
I suppose you would have to tie us here, but do you have to use rawhide?
I like rawhide. When it's green like this, it's nice and flexible. And when it dries, it shrinks and grows good and hard.
Yeah.
I don't think you and your friend will be leaving here in a hurry, Cassidy.
Oh, we like it here.
Well, you'd better, because you're going to stay here a while. Now, let's see that sight draft you have, Cassidy. I think I'd better take care of it. Yeah, here it is. 7,000. When I have your signature on this, I'm going to be a considerably richer man.
Which will be some considerable time from now. This where you always hide out, you say, mister?
Yeah, of course. Why do you ask that?
Oh, I wondered. Usually when a man spends all his time at one place, there's more signs of life. Doesn't look to me like you're here much.
Where do you think I stay?
I don't know. That's something I'd like to find out.
Yeah, you're dreaming things. Well, dream all you like. I gotta leave you two here for a few hours. Let's see how you're tied, California. I reckon you'll hold all right. See that you behave yourselves while I'm gone. If you don't, you may be sorry for it. Yeah, hold still.
Haven't left us much choice, have you?
No, reckon I haven't. Yeah. See you later. Yeah, boy, yeah.
The dirty sidewinder. I'd sure like to snatch that yeller hood off in his head and punch him right in the nose and...
You're too peaceable. I'd like to do more than that.
Doggone, I'm getting thirsty already. I reckon it's 'cause I can't move none. And anyway, you figure we could dip our beaks in that creek yonder, Huppy?
If you should think of a way, you let me know.
Yeah. You think we're done for this time, Huppy?
I do not.
You're gonna sign that sight draft, are you?
Not at all.
Then how are we gonna get away?
We'll just wait for Terry to get help and come after us.
But he don't know where we are.
Don't worry, he'll find us.
But how?
I left a trail for him.
Uh-huh.
You don't see any cartridges in my gun belt, do you?
Say...
That's right. I drop one every once in a while on the way over here. I figure Terry's reaching the Circle S just about now. He should find us in an hour or two at the most.
Whoa, boy, whoa. Stay there, boy. Dad, are you...
Terry, where the devil have
Listen,
you...
Dad, don't ask for any explanations just now. Just do as I say.
Huh?
Cassidy and California are in trouble. They've been captured by that hombre in the yellow mask. I've come to get help. We ought to get about 3 or 4 of the boys and... Hey, Dad, what's the idea of that gun?
You're the man in the yellow mask, son.
No, Dad. No, you don't understand. I just...
I swore if I had the chance, I'd take you in, son or no son. And I am. I'm taking you into town to hang.
Say, Hoppy, if Terry's ever going to get here, don't you think it's about time he was getting here now?
Well, he should have been here long before this. I don't like it.
Maybe he missed those bullets after all.
Well, he shouldn't have. Any luck with that rawhide he put on you, California?
Nary a bit. Doggone stuff. Just getting tighter.
So is mine. Wait a second. This might be Terry now.
Can't see who it is.
He's still on the other side of those rocks. We'll see him in a minute. Oh.
Yeah, our friend in the yellow mask again.
Oh, hola.
So you got back, eh? We kind of hoped you'd break your neck.
Then what would have happened to you? You'd enjoy dying of thirst, would you?
And speaking of thirst, how's our chance of getting a drink out of that creek?
I have to return to town. I thought I'd better see to you and that sight draft first. Untie you one at a time, but I'll leave your hands as they are. Yeah, I got nothing to lose giving you a drink, I guess. You'll be first, Cassidy.
Make it fast, doggone it. I'm so dry I'm getting thirsty.
What are you going into town for? Another little job on tap?
Yeah, it's something I think will interest you.
Oh?
Yeah, there you are. Now you can walk to the creek.
Just a minute. What's this you say will interest me?
Oh, that. Well, if you're waiting for Terry to free you, you're in for a disappointment. He's been delivered to the sheriff for trial.
What do you
thought that would interest you. It occurred to me it might when I saw those cartridges you'd dropped on the trail.
You know about that, do you?
Of course. And disposed of them. Now get your drink and hurry up. You get yours, California, as soon as he's finished. Hey, stop, Cassidy. What do you think you're doing? Stop! Hold on!
Bobby, don't try it. You can't make it.
You fool. How'd you think you'd get away from me afoot with your hands tied?
Well, I could try, couldn't I?
I see you're not to be trusted.
That's right. I'm deceitful as all get out.
Now, back to Hopalong Cassidy.
Well, hello, Jared. Terry. How are you?
This ain't a social call, Sheriff. I brought you the man in the yellow mask.
The man in the yellow mask. Well, where is he?
Right here. My own son.
Your son? Well, you can't
That's right.
mean...
I suspected it for a long time. But when I was sure, I figured it was my duty to bring him in.
Yeah, but somehow I can't see Terry as the man in the yellow mask. Well, what do you got to say for yourself, son?
I wore a yellow mask, sure. But all I did it for was to trap the real outlaw. And by holding me like this, you're probably condemning Cassidy to death.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to check on your story, I shouldn't think. It seems to
I
me...
heard that, Sheriff.
Oh, Mr. Bailey.
It seems to me you're playing the fool. Suppose you check on the story as you say. What happens? He must have friends. While you're away, they break him from jail.
Well, if you say so, Mr. Bailey.
How come Bailey gives you orders, Sheriff?
Well, he don't...
I give no one orders. But the sheriff listens to me because he knows that I'm honest and I work hard for what little money I have.
That how you got your pants so wet? Working so hard?
I've been inspecting some property over north. Naturally, I had to forge a little muddy, but as I was saying...
That's right, mister, as you were saying.
Well,
Hey, Hoppy.
Come on, California. You were saying what about the little muddy?
I was simply explaining how I got my trousers wet.
I've forded the little muddy myself. That mud on your boots doesn't look to me like anything you got there.
Well, what do you...
Looks to me more like the mud you might have got from the bottom of a certain little creek I know about back up in the hills. Here's your man, Sheriff. You're looking for the man in the yellow mask. Here he is. Arrest him.
I protest. I don't understand why this fella should
Then
be...
if there's any doubt about who you are, mister, I'd suggest we search for a certain sight draft. Wait a minute.
Trying to get
No,
out of
you
here.
don't.
Oh.
Search him, Terry. Find that draft.
Hold him.
Hold still, friend. You aren't going anyplace.
Here it is, Hoppy. It was in his side pocket.
Hey, what is all this?
You're a man in the yellow mask, Sheriff, and proof that I know what I'm talking about. The man in the yellow mask took that draft from me. And now Bailey, or whatever he calls himself, has it.
How'd you ever get free?
Oh, that was easy, mister. What did you think I took that run through the creek for?
What?
As you said, brawhide shrinks when it dries, but it stretches when you wet it. So I wet it, and here I am.
Why, you...
All right, Bailey, get going. I've been saving the cell for the man in the yellow mask. And this time I figure I got it.
Now, you can't do this to me, Sheriff.
Well, what do you think about your son now, Stokes? Still think he's an outlaw?
Well, I feel like an idiot. Son, if you can ever see your way to kind of excusing me, why...
Oh, forget it, Dad. It wasn't your fault. I wanted folks to think I was the man in the yellow mask. Can't complain when they start to believe me.
Well, you had a good idea, Terry, but next time, don't try it.
Huh?
Playing outlaw is a game that's played for keeps. And next time, you might not be so lucky.
Mighty lucky for Terry and mighty clever of Hoppy to think of taking that run through the creek and outwitting the man in the yellow mask. Trickery being something Hoppy just can't tolerate leads him and California into a thrill-packed story when Hoppy gets the trickster on the run in next week's tale of action, Run, Sheep, Run. Hopalong, Cassidy, starring William Boyd, is transcribed and produced in the West by Walter White, Jr. The Man in the Yellow Mask was written by Gibson Scott Fox, with original music under the personal direction of Albert Glasser. All stories are based upon the characters created by Clarence E. Mulford. This is a Commodore production. With action and suspense out of the Old West comes the most famous hero of them all, Hopalong Cassidy, starring William Boyd. The ring of the silver spurs heralds the most amazing man ever to ride the prairies of the early West, Hopalong Cassidy, the same Hoppy you cheer in motion pictures, and the same California you've laughed at a million times. Raw courage and quick shooting have built a legend around this famous hero. Hopalong is a name to be feared, respected, and admired, for this great cowboy rides the trails of adventure and excitement. William Boyd as Hopalong Cassidy, and Andy Clyde as California. Now, Hoppy, what about our story?
This is the adventure we call Run, Sheep, Run. It began on a warm spring afternoon in the San Dimas Valley. The day had been quiet and peaceful and the riding easy. Even our horses seemed to be enjoying the change of pace, and a good case of old-fashioned spring fever had nearly taken over as California and I approached the Box L, owned by an old friend of ours, Matt Liggett. We were just a short distance from the main ranch buildings when I saw something up ahead that caused me to call California to stop. California, pull up. Whoa, Topper.
Whoa there, whoa. What's up, huh?
Look at the crowd of men in the front of the Box L. What do you make of it?
Hey, old Matt sure get company, ain't he?
He has, but I'm wondering if it's friendly company. Listen.
Hoppy, that sounds like trouble.
Sounds and looks like it. We better see what's up. Come on.
Get up. Get up, boy.
All right, hold it. Quiet down. Hold it. Hold it, I said. Kelly, you there. Kelly. You seem to be the leader. I want to talk to you. And stay away from that door, all of you. Come on, California. All right, one side. We're going through. Come on. What's this all about, Kelly?
Matt's turned skunk, Hoppy. He sold us out.
I don't believe it. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you. Matt sold the north end of his range and all his water rights. And that's all the water we got in this valley. He sold to Clint Slagle.
He what?
You heard me. He sold to Clint Slagle.
But Slagle's a sheep man.
Sure he is. And coming right now through the pass with more woolies than you'd find in all New Mexico.
Oh, there's some mistake here, Kelly. This isn't sheep country, and Slagle should know that. Even if Matt did sell, what would Slagle want it for?
I don't know. That's his business. All I know is, once those woolies have got down on the flats and hit the pool in the springs, we're done for. It won't matter to us then whether Slagle made a mistake or not.
Now, just a second, Kelly. There's one thing you'd better get through your head. Matt's your friend. Why, he's been the best friend any of you in this valley ever had. If he sold to Slagle, he'll have an explanation.
And what's keeping him from giving it? We're here. We'll listen. What's he hiding in the house for?
Look, wait a minute. You come out here pawing the ground and bellowing and tossing your horns like this, what do you expect? Naturally, Matt wouldn't feel much like coming.
It wouldn't have mattered how they came, Hoppy.
Matt, I'm glad you came out. Kelly here's been giving me some crazy talk about...
Not crazy talk, Hoppy. Straight talk.
But, Matt, it can't be that...
These people have been my friends for years. Some of them been my friends for the best part of my life. But I've sold them out, Hoppy. I've sold them out and ruined them. And there's nothing anyone can do about it.
When Hoppy first heard that elderly Matt Liggett, pioneer ranchman, had betrayed his friends by selling San Dimas Valley's only water rights to the sheepman, Clint Slagle, he refused to believe it. But Matt himself confirmed the charge, and now Hoppy stares at him, then slowly turns away to address the waiting crowd.
All right, friends. I'd appreciate it if you'd leave this to me. There isn't going to be any trouble here, so you better clear out. You too, Kelly. I don't think you're in any frame of mind to talk to Matt. I'll see you later.
All right, if you say so, Hoppy. But if it was anybody but you, I'd tell you to go to blazes. All right, boys, into the saddle. Let's be getting back.
All right, Matt. Inside.
But, Hoppy, you don't seem to understand. I assure you that there's nothing to discuss.
Inside.
Well,
You too, California.
Sure.
All right, Matt. Let's have it.
Have what?
Matt, maybe you can fool those fellas out there with this talk about selling them out. But don't try to fool me that easy. This valley and the people in it mean more to you than anything else in the world. So now, well, how about having the truth?
You won't believe me, Hoppy, but I've told you the truth.
You actually mean to say that you sold your water rights to a man like Slagle? That you did? I still don't believe it.
Well, maybe I didn't, Hoppy, but it amounts to the same thing. Sime Argent did.
Sime's your foreman, ain't he?
He used to be. After this happened, I naturally discharged him. Or rather, he knew I would and never showed up again.
I don't get this. What could Sime have to do with it?
I had given him my power of attorney.
Oh.
You see, Hoppy, I'm getting old. Well, my judgment isn't always as good as it should be. I wanted someone to run the place for me. Simon'd been with me for 5 years. I thought I could trust him, but...
When the chips were down, you found you couldn't, eh?
Yes.
Then Sime's to blame for this. Why, you've been blaming yourself.
Well, I gave him the power to do it, didn't I? Who else is responsible?
I see what you mean. You made a mistake, but you didn't deliberately sell anyone out. There's a difference. Have you tried to do anything about this? Have you talked with Slagle?
I tried to, Hoppy, but he wouldn't see me.
I see. I heard the Slagle's coming through the pass right now. I guess California and I better look him up. Come on, California. See you later, Matt.
But, Hoppy, wait. What can you in California do?
Our best. And if that isn't good enough, we'll have to do a little bit better.
Hold still, you knot-headed son of Satan. That'll hold you.
Pedro, Manuel, keep 'em moving. Head 'em for the flats. Felipe, back to the pass and keep the rest of those blame critters moving. Vamos, pronto.
Hey, what's the matter with you, Sime?
Slagle, I'm getting out of here. Look there, who's coming? That's Hopalong Cassidy and his sidekick. They know me.
Shut up.
Too bad they made a man out of you, Sime. You just wasted the material for a first-class rat. I heard about this Cassidy hombre. I'd admire to meet him.
Well, I won't.
Get out. Take cover if you want, but don't go away. You'll be around when Cassidy's gone again.
I'll be around. Come on. Up. Yep.
Manuel, keep 'em moving. Felipe, bring 'em up.
Hi there.
Huh? Oh, hello.
A lot of sheep you got here. You must be Clint Slagle.
I'm Clint Slagle. Who are you?
Mean to say Sime didn't tell you? I saw him clearing out when he saw us coming.
All right. You're Hopalong Cassidy. This is California Carlson. What are you after? You want jobs herding sheep?
No, thanks. We don't eat mutton.
Neither do I. And you couldn't work for me even if you wanted to. Just to let you know where you stand.
But where do you stand, Slagle? This valley isn't for sheep any more than it is for mountain goats. What do you want in here for?
I'm a businessman. Maybe it was to make me a little money.
No doubt. But what's your angle, Slagle?
Well, since it's such a good idea, I'll let you in on it. I own this end of the valley. I bought all the water rights there is. Suppose I stay here. What's going to happen to your rancher friends?
They'll go broke. They'll have no place to water their cattle.
Right. So if I was them, I'd buy me out again. And I wouldn't haggle too much over the price.
Oh, so that's your game, is it? A little extortion. How much are you asking?
Today, $50,000. Land's going up, though, so tomorrow it may be more.
$50,000? That's ridiculous, and you know it.
Sure. But what do you want to bet I get it?
I don't think the men here are fools.
They'd be fools not to buy.
And even if they would, I intend to do everything I can to persuade them not to.
I don't scare easy, Cassidy. I hold the water rights so the ranchers go bust. That'll be kind of fun, too. But I think a cattleman ain't hardly polite for a well-brought-up fella like me to say.
Suit yourself. But don't make any decisions you'll regret. Come on, California, let's get out of here. Come on, Topper.
Get up, boy.
What's so funny?
I'm afraid I made Mr. Cassidy mad.
That's sometimes a fool thing to do.
Tell me something, Simon. He said that even if the ranchers were willing to get together and buy their water back at my price, he'd try to talk them out of it. Did they listen to him?
Listen to him. If Cassidy told them they'd walk off a cliff blindfolded and never ask why.
And he's dangerous to us, huh?
Yeah, plenty dangerous.
All right, then, my friend. You have your orders.
What orders?
Kill him.
California.
Huh?
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed. I got a glimpse of a rider a couple of times when we were topping a hill.
Any idea who it is?
I got an idea. It's our old friend Sam Argent. No use wasting time worrying about him, though. What we have to do is find a place to camp. Come on, Topper. All right, California, we camp here. You get on into town and get back with these supplies. Bacon, flour, coffee, matches. That'll be all, I guess.
Right.
How long do you think the trip will take you?
Oh, 2 hours, I reckon?
Well, make it as fast as you can. The sooner you're back, the better.
Right. I'll get her going now. Come on, boy. Get up. Get up there.
Well, Topper, old boy, about time you had a rub down, I guess. You had a hard day.
But not half as hard as the one you're going to have, Hoppy.
Simon.
That's right, Hoppy. No. Get your hands away from them guns. Heist them and keep them heisted.
What is this, Simon?
This is just one of the events leading up to the funeral, Hoppy. Your funeral.
Now back to Hopalong Cassidy and the adventure called Run, Sheep, Run. It was several hours later that California Carlson dashed madly into the little town of Custer, nestling at the lower end of San Dimas Valley, and reined up in a spiraling cloud of dust. As he did so, he lifted his voice in a yell.
Hey, everybody! Something's happened to Hoppy. Everybody that's got a gun and a horse and a hankering to use them, come on with me. Hey, fellas, something bad's happened to Hoppy. Hurry, everybody! Something's happened.
This where you and Hoppy made camp, California?
Right over there, Callie. Better tell them fellas to stay right here, else they'll trample all the sign out.
You heard that, boys. Wait for us. Come on, California. Let's see what we can find.
Hey, here we are. Whoa, boy.
Whoa. California. That log over there. There's blood on it.
Sure there is. And that's one of the things I wanted you to see. And...
Here, wait a second. Let's have a look around here a little. Certainly been a fight here, a big one.
Yeah, but how would anybody grab Hoppy off without a fight in his hands?
There's where they dragged him away, over there. You can see his heel marks.
Sure.
At least it looks that way. But even so, we can't be sure. Here, wait. Here's his gun.
Yeah? You sure they're his? Let me see. Yeah, they're his, all right. I was in such an all-fired hurry I missed them before.
California, this tells the whole story. If they hadn't got the best of him, he would never have left his guns behind. And if they hadn't killed him, they wouldn't have left him behind. This proves it. Hoppy dead. Somebody's going to pay for this, California. And it isn't going to be long before we present the bill. You said it was one of Slagle's men following you, didn't you?
Yeah, Cy Argent. It was him that sold out to Slagle while he was still with Matt Liggett. But I reckon you know all about that by this time.
Yeah, we know about it. And I guess we also know that Hoppy's body was taken away, so we couldn't prove anything.
Then it better be found.
We'll find it. But that won't make any difference to Simon Slagle. They'll pay for this, whether we find Hoppy's body or not. And no time wasted. Come on, then. We've got a job of riding to do. Let's get going.
I'll line up with you later, Kelly. First, I got a job of my own to do.
Anytime. We won't need any help on this job. All right, boys, let's get going. We'll follow that killer's trail till we find him.
All right. You can come out now, Hoppy.
Good. If I'd stayed down that hole full of brush much longer, I'd have been dead, smothered to death. I was listening, California. You did fine. Not even one little lie.
Didn't have to tell none. I just let Kelly look around and kind of jump to his own conclusions. That rabbit blood on that log there sure looked like the real thing. That was a good touch, where's Simon?
Don't worry about him. He's still back in the brush, tied up.
Good. So, now, what do I do?
You know what to do. And you'd better start doing it before Kelly and his crowd give up on that blind trail I left them and decide to deal with Slagle direct.
Right. I'll get started now.
Fine. And, California.
Yeah?
When you find Slagle, be sure you talk it tough. Remember, from now on, everything depends on you.
Wait a second, mister. You come back here.
I've said my say, Slagle. You got anything to say, you better make it fast.
I'll do that. How soon do you expect that bunch to get here?
Kelly and the others, I couldn't say. Depends on a lot of things. Might be tomorrow. Might be in the next 5 minutes. All you can be sure of it is that sooner or later, they will be here.
All right. Let them come. They can't do anything. They wouldn't dare.
That's a matter of opinion. Pretty tough for you if you guessed wrong, wouldn't it be?
But lynching would be against the law.
Sure. Always has been. But it still happens now and again, don't it?
They can't prove that I had anything to do
with Hoppy's killing? Well, I tell you, that's one of the things that's bad about fellers stepping out and taking the law into their own hands. They don't always wait for proof. But they know you wanted to kill Hoppy, so...
But what can I do?
What I told you. Skedaddle, and you better get at it.
But I can't. I mean, I got money tied up here. I bought this land and the water rights.
Well, if money means more to you than your neck, that's your business. But maybe I could help out a little bit.
Help me out? You?
Yeah,
How?
I'll tell you. Now, I get a little money, not much, of course. You have to take some loss. But if you aim to save something out of this mess you got yourself into, like I said...
Saw him, California?
Yeah, sure did, Hoppy, and talked it tough, too, just like you said, and it worked out fine.
Good. Then we better ride. Here, Topper. Here, boy.
Hey, we're leaving Sime here?
No, I fixed it so that in 5 minutes after we've left, he can work himself loose. Come on.
Get up, boy.
ordering it. Hey, Simon. Hey, I want to see you, mister. Get him. Hey. Oh there. You confounded fool, you are.
Hey, let go of me.
You messed everything up, you idiot. The whole valley knows you killed Cassidy. I've had to sell out. I'll be lucky if I get clear of this valley alive. If I'd known you were such a triple start.
Wait a second. Get your fool hands off of me. I want to get this straight. You sold out?
Everything. Land and water rights. I had to. It was my only chance to get anything at all back.
Who did you sell to?
California Carlson. But we're wasting time. There'll be a posse here any minute now. We've got to get out of here.
Who's the fool now?
Well, what are you talking about?
You've been tricked. Selling out to Carlson. Don't you know that Cassidy's alive?
He's what?
You heard me. He's alive. And Carlson knew it when he talked you into selling to him. The whole thing was a put-up job between him and Cassidy.
You're loco.
Am I? I ought to know whether Cassidy's alive or not. Look at me. He had me tied up. I just got away.
But I sent you after him. What happened?
Well, I guess he outsmarted me, too. I didn't know it till afterwards, but they knew I was following them. They pulled a whizzer on me. California made as if he was going to town for supplies, but when I threw down on Cassidy, there he was with a gun on my back. He just circled around and laid for me.
So they outsmarted us, did they? Alto, hombres! Miguel, Pedro, Manuel, viene el ganado!
What was that?
I told him to turn the woolies around. We're going back.
Oh, what's the use? Now it's too late.
Is it? I'll tell you something, Sime. We're going back, and before we're through, Cassidy's going to be shedding tears for the day he was born.
California, pull up. Whoa, boy.
Whoa, whoa!
Listen.
It's a gunfight.
Kelly and his men have come up with Simon Slagle. We've taken too long. We shouldn't have stopped at Matt's place first. We gotta get there. Let's go! Kelly, hold your fire. Whoa, Topper, whoa.
Whoa. Hold it a second, boys. Here's Hoppy. Hoppy in California. We're glad to see you. We got them skunks holed up back in those rocks. They killed... Hey, hold it. You're alive.
Sure I'm alive. I don't kill easy. Now, wait a second, one at a time. It's a long story. Most of it'll have to wait. But if this was meant to be a necktie party, you can forget about it. No use trying to punish a man for a crime he didn't commit.
That's as may be, Hoppy. We're glad you're alive. But I'm not so sure we shouldn't go right ahead with this and wipe those skunks out. They've taken our water away from us and...
No, they haven't.
Huh?
That's another long story. We got it back. But it's California's story. So he should be the one to tell you. California, you better tell him what happened. California. Where is he? California! California!
No use looking for him, Cassidy. We have him.
California, is that true? They got you over there?
I'm sorry, Hoppy, but they got me while the rest of you was talking. They never even give me a chance to holler.
What's the idea, Slagle? What do you expect to gain by this?
Funny.
Well?
I've got a quick claim deed here to this land and all the water rights, Cassidy.
What if you have?
Just this. Either California signs it, or we blow his head off.
Now, back to Hopalong Cassidy.
I'll handle this. Leave this to me. California, can you hear me?
What is it, Hoppy?
Sign that quitclaim deed. Do you hear me? Sign it. Sign anything Slagle wants you to.
But Hoppy, you're forgetting...
I'm not forgetting anything. Just do as I tell you. Do you understand that?
Well, yeah, if you say so, Hoppy.
You show good sense, Cassidy. When you're beaten, admit it.
Hoppy, I guess you know what this means, don't you? It means Slagle takes over the whole valley after all. It means we're ruined.
You'd rather California died?
Oh, no, Hoppy. No. Anything like that.
Then suppose you do what I suggested. Leave this to me and quit worrying about it. Kelly, I want you to follow my orders exactly. I'm going over there, where Slagle and California are. I'll go over with my hands raised. They'll be keeping their eyes on me. Think you and some of your men could manage to surround them without their knowing it while I'm doing that?
I think so, but what good'll that do?
You'll learn that later. Slagle, I'm coming over there. Don't fire at me. I'll come over with my hands raised.
See that you keep them raised. Keep your eyes on him, boys. The first time he tries anything, let him have it.
I'm coming now.
Anytime. Just don't think you can outsmart us, that's all.
California.
Right around here, Hoppy.
Well, Slagle, I suppose you think you've won this hand. But how long do you think you can make your title to this land stick when we tell how you got it?
About as long as you could make yours stick when I tell how you tricked me out of it, I reckon. Anyhow, this quit-claim date will serve my purpose. By the time any court throws me off this land, your friend's cattle will have died for lack of water. So I still say they better buy me out at my figure.
Maybe they will. Let's see what they have to say. All right, Kelly, take over. Take him away, Kelly. Charge him with trespassing, attempted murder, anything you can think of.
We'll charge him with being sheepman. That's the worst of all.
You won't get away with this, Cassidy. I would have sold my title. Now I'll fight you through every court in the state. Before I get through with you and your friends here, You
won't even get started, Slagle. Didn't I tell you?
Tell me what?
Your deed there to this land and the water. It isn't worth the paper it's written on. California had no right to sign it. On the way over here, we stopped at the Box L, and California transferred title back to Matt Liggett. So you're finished, Slagle. Kelly, take him away.
There's no stopping Hoppy when he sets out to help a friend. Even gunslingers and crooks scatter like sheep when Hoppy rides them down, bringing an end to trickery and deceit. And this story, Run, Sheep, Run. Don't miss Hopalong Cassidy's next thrilling tale of a princess who becomes a kidnapper and how Hoppy becomes a prince when, for a short while, Hoppy meets his match. Hopalong Cassidy, starring William Boyd, is transcribed and produced in the West by Walter White, Jr. Run, Sheep, Run was written by Gibson Scott Fox, with original music under the personal direction of Albert Glasser. All stories are based upon the characters created by Clarence E. Mulford. This is a Commodore production.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe.